Good morning and welcome to 10 News Sunday Morning with the Tampa Bay Times. I'm Hillary Zala. The United States flew 2 supersonic bombers over the Korean peninsula this morning in a show of force. This comes after North Korea conducted an intercontinental ballistic missile test on Friday. This was the second test this month and indicates that a larger swath of the U.S. is now within their weapons range, including Los Angeles and Chicago. The Pacific Air Force commander said, quote, if we are called upon, we are ready to respond with rapid, lethal, and overwhelming force at a time and place of our choosing. President Trump didn't hold any public events on Saturday, but he did send more than a dozen tweets criticizing Congress, touting the surging stock market, and calling out China. Part of the China tweets read, quote, our foolish past leaders have allowed them to make hundreds of billions of dollars a year in trade, yet they do nothing for us with North Korea, just talk. We will no longer allow this to continue. China could easily solve this problem. This follows the North's testing of a missile it claims can reach the U.S. mainland. The president also tweeted that Congress should try again to repeal and replace Obamacare. Meanwhile, a new chief of staff, General John Kelly, is now in charge of pushing the White House agenda. One person was killed and 3 others were injured in a shooting at a nightclub in Germany. This happened in the city of Constance, right near the Swiss border, early Sunday morning. The gunman was a 34-year-old Iraqi who lived in Germany for a long time. He was shot by police and taken to a local hospital where he died. A police officer was also wounded in the exchange with the fire and the gunman. Police are still investigating a motive, but investigators don't think this was related to terror. We'll keep you updated right here on our 10 News app. The polls are open in Venezuela, where citizens will vote on whether to create a special assembly to reshape the nation's charter. This week, President announced sanctions on 13 current and former members of the Venezuela's president's administration. President Nicolas Maduro refused to recognize those sanctions, and he says today's election would send a message to Donald Trump. The U.S. has also joined with a dozen other regional governments in urging him to suspend the election. Already, at least 113 people have been killed and nearly 2,000 wounded during the 4 months of protests leading up to the election. We've been keeping an eye on the Land O'Lakes sinkhole for you. This was massive, and it didn't just take down buildings. It took homes away from families. Some families lost everything, and this weekend the community stepped in to raise money for them.
The outpour was unbelievable. People have just been donating anonymously, dropping them off for us to raise money.
All the money will be donated to the families affected by that sinkhole. It has been 2 weeks since that massive sinkhole opened up, and we know it needs to be cleaned up, but the question now is, who's going to pay for it? Pasco County has been haggling with the insurance companies of the houses affected, calling the cleanup a private matter.
Let me be very clear. The county taxpayer dollars are designed to be used for specific situations, and one of those situations is not going onto a person's private property and utilizing taxpayer dollars to conduct geotechnical testing to see if there's a sinkhole or stability problem underneath their home.
But so far, at least one of those insurers said it's not their problem, and another says they've already paid the property owner and have no further liability. An emergency county commission meeting is scheduled for tomorrow morning to pick a contractor. The bill, they promise, will be passed along to those insurers. That's somewhere between $650,000 and $1.2 million. Cleanup is expected to take 2 to 3 weeks. Day 2 of Tampa Bay Comic-Con ended with a bizarre arrest after a stalker targeted an actress and an event planner. The popular event is normally filled with costumes and meet and greets like this one. But this meet and greet went a little too far. Take a look at this man, 45-year-old Terry L. Rep. Tampa police arrested him after they say he stalked and harassed actress Kate Beckinsale. Police say he touched her back and talked about stabbing her. They say he was an irrational obsession with the actress and has done this before. He has been arrested in the past for stalking her at other events around the country. Beckinsale was one of the big stars expected at Saturday's event. She's best known for her lead role in the Underworld series. So if you have plans to go to the beach today, we have a big warning for you before you get into the water, especially at Davis Island Park Beach, because it is closed because of a bacteria found in the water that can cause disease, infections, and rashes. Officials say the bacteria could be from a number of things like dog waste or storm water runoff. They'll be back to test out that water again on Monday. And if you want to go to the beach, probably a better idea would maybe St. Pete Beach, Treasure Island, that area. But I will tell you, I was there last week, and it's not even fun to get in the water because the water is like bath water or a hot tub maybe.
Yeah, it's in the upper 80s, close to 90 degrees, and we're gonna have a lot of water falling from the sky today too. So not the best weather for beaching and boating today. The winds will be a little breezy at times as well. And outside right now we are.
A rare disease nearly killed a girl from Ukraine, but a local woman made it her mission to bring her to the U.S. to give her a chance in life. You're about to meet Marina and the Tampa Bay area family who made it their mission to bring her from Ukraine to the United States. That move meant more than just a loving home. It also meant access to treatment for a disease that is so rare, only a few dozen people in the world have been diagnosed with it. 10 News anchor Ian Wright spoke with Tampa Bay Times reporter Josh Solomon about Marina's story in today's Sunday Conversation. So to you, it's a fruit, but to her, it's a way to honor her dad. A Gulfport woman is turning avocados into something really special. 2 years ago, a woman wanted to transform her front yard and her fruit into something meaningful. She made soaps and lotions, but decided she wanted a project that fed her soul. She finally found the perfect product. And 10 News reporter Bobby Lewis is on the road in Gulfport where avocados are meaningful and beautiful. Demetra sells her avocado jewelry at the Gulfport Farmers Market on Tuesday mornings. The fruit from her dad's trees will be ready to harvest in a few weeks. Then she'll start crafting more jewelry to sell. So far, she's donated just over $300 to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. What a way to put your passion into something really compassionate for the community.
That is cool. And who doesn't love an avocado? I didn't know you could get jewelry from an avocado.
He didn't even know there was a seed inside the avocado.
Okay, for the record, I don't really like guacamole. I know it's good for you. It's just a green thing, but I love that jewelry. That's really neat. And
you need to start eating avocados though, because they're a superfood.
Yes.
And we'll go buy that jewelry.
Yes.
That's a good way to get you into loving avocados, wearing the jewelry.
There you go.
So you can grab your superhero suit. Do you have a superhero suit?
I used to.
Okay, so find it, grab it, or your bathing suit. I know you have that. That's for some events going on today in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, 10 Communities' Catherine Bursch outlines all the fun.
That looked fun, but like you just said, too bad the weather's not going to be that great.
Yeah, so you'll have to dodge some rainfall, and not just today, but tomorrow into Tuesday and Wednesday, rain likely, and rain will be heavy at times. Look at this. Now, this is all thanks to a cold front that will settle across the area, but we're talking about the early Wednesday, maybe 3, 4, 5, pushing 6 inches of rain in places. That's a computer model, but nonetheless, a lot of rain is expected here over the next several days. The clouds will keep us cooler, Hillary. At least we're going to see temperatures in the 80s due to the clouds, but very humid air. Again, periods of rain, some embedded thunderstorms, no real severe weather expected, but as you can see there, those are impressive rain totals, and that can cause some localized flooding as well. As you know, here in Florida, we often deal with that.
So we'll have to watch out for that, especially tomorrow morning during your morning commute. Be careful for some of that puddling.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us this Sunday morning. Rick and I have really enjoyed spending time with you. Make sure to follow us on our Facebook page at 10 News